Hey everybody, welcome to Comics from the Future. I'm Andy.
And Matt.
We're here with Infinity Flux Comics out of Chattanooga, Tennessee, and this is our, this time, a really big show.
Yeah.
Where we show you some of the biggest and best books that you can pre-order by this weekend. So head on over to infinityflux.net right now, where you can start placing your pre-orders, because there's a lot of books this week you don't want to miss. Some awesome variants, all that kind of stuff. So whether you shop with us in person or online, get your pre-orders in, because it is very helpful. That way you don't miss out on any of these awesome books.
Yeah, I think this is the biggest FOC weekend of the year. We had to do a top 20 video on Wednesday. There was still a bunch of stuff that we had to cut out from this list as well. Everything will be on the website, though, so don't be worried about that. But yeah, huge FOC weekend.
I think every week that we say that, the publishers hear us and they're like, well, we can top that.
Challenge accepted.
Maybe one week we just need to back off and say, I think this week is okay.
Yeah, this was just right.
So let's get into it. Starting with our Prime Comic pre-orders and a personal one.
Yeah, this is Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures, the training sessions, and this is a hardcover that collects the 2024 and 2025 Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures free comic book day books. Of course, those ones are being drawn by Mr. Andy Dugan right here. Plus, this also contains a news story called The Trees of Kashyyyk, where you said it was Kai, just Kai does it, right? Where Kai races Wookiees to climb the tallest trees on Kashyyyk. So, yeah, very cool. So this is the first time your work's been collected? No, the first time all of your work
an entire collected edition is just me
stuff.
doing the art on it. So this is a very cool kind of another milestone in my career.
Another feather in your cap.
Yeah, and this third story hasn't been printed anywhere. It wasn't in the free comic book day. It's brand new for this, and it's a lot of fun. I included some fun references and cool stuff in there, plus the cover's by me. So I would love it if people check this out. And it's only $8.99.
Yeah, $8.99 for is the news story, is it a full length?
It's the same length as the free comic book day, so it's like 12 to 14 pages.
Okay, so yeah, you get like 3 awesome, like nicely length stories for just $9.
Yeah. And just the one cover. But I'll draw you another one. I don't care.
That's yours too, right? You did the cover?
I did the cover here.
Does this have any bonus material?
I don't know. I honestly do not know what all is in here.
Because I know you sent some, right?
Yeah, for
sketches and things.
Yeah. And this cover I did the pencils, the inks, and the colors on this. So I did everything. Moving on to a really big one for the entire year.
Moving on to just like what the rest of this video will be about, probably.
Yeah. This is DC KO #1. This is DC's big event of the year. This is going to be 4 issues long by Scott Snyder and Javier Fernandez. And we were on a retailer call yesterday with Scott Snyder, with Joshua Williamson, and the editors, all of that, talking about this. Scott Snyder walked us page by page through issue #1 and told us about it and got us.
Which is how I want all of my comics at this point. Listening to him like go through and just tell us the story. I mean, I was captivated. Not only was the story great, but he just has this way of just like captivating you with a story. I want him to read all my comics to me from now on.
Yeah, his enthusiasm was so great, and I think that's a big thing to take away from this before I get into what the story is the creators of this at DC are so excited. This is not just like, oh, we got to do a big event. This is a story they've really wanted to tell and that they've been building since the DC All-In special.
Yeah. It's not a cash grab or anything like that. Like, this is something they're having fun with. They're putting a lot of passion and care and thought into. And you can tell, like, just listening to them talk about it, it's very obvious that they're wanting to give all of us just some really fun, action-packed comics.
Yeah, so now, there's the solicitation, but now I feel like I understand the story even better. And the big thing, Darkseid is coming back, and maybe in some ways he's already won. So how is the DC Universe even going to compete with a Darkseid now who is omnipresent? Like, he is everywhere at once. He is changing the world into apocalypse, opening up the fire pits, all of that. He is the strongest I think any DC villain has ever been. Yeah. He is more of an idea than even a being. So what can the DC Universe do? Well, Darkseid is known as the KO, the King Omega. He is the ultimate thing. So the heroes are going to have to get their own King Omega to go up against him. And to do that, they're going to have to build up enough Omega energy by essentially going all out, fighting each other in a competition style thing to build up this dark side energy to be able to fight him. And this is going to be done in like a bracketed combat thing.
It's like you said, this is pretty much a tournament arc of an anime.
Yes.
It's exactly that.
But this isn't grim and gritty. This is not like all our favorite heroes are having to kill each other. No, this is really fun because the heroes don't die. They kind of get like put on a bookshelf over here when they lose. But because this is dark side and they have to build up this Omega energy, they can't hold back. They can't be the good guy. They have to be brutal and self-centered and going for themselves to win. And Superman may have a problem with that, considering he's a good guy through and through. But what heroes are going to make it through this? It's going to be full of surprises. We already know about a ton of the surprises that are in issue 1.
Oh my gosh, there's a few very big surprises in issue number 1, and there's one surprise in particular that people are going to flip out about.
Yeah, it's going to be incredible. Is there anything else you want to add to it? I feel like since I know the whole story, I'm trying to like mentally edit myself to not say certain things.
Yeah, no, they walked us through the entire first issue, and the artwork is great. It's broke up into 3 chapters to make it a little bit more easily digestible. They said that this is, coming out of everything that's been going on in the Justice League Unlimited and Superman and a few other books, but they also said, and we've actually have a copy of it now, where we've seen like the pages that do this. They said that this book will catch you up. If you have not been reading everything that before this book will catch you up. And there's another one too that we'll talk about in a second.
Yep.
So if you haven't been reading Justice League and Superman, but you're like, hey, you know what, this sounds fun, go for it, because this will tell you everything you need to know to read this event, and it's just going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, like you said, they said it's not going to be a grim dark thing. It's not like Marvel where the heroes are fighting each other because they're mad at each other. They're fighting each other because, like you said, they have to build up energy, and this is the only way to do it.
Yeah, you're going to be seeing, it was actually released today, the bracket of the 32 heroes.
Oh, was the full bracket released?
The full bracket was released, and we're going to, play along and see who's going to beat who. And this is, they described it as when you go to your local comic book store and you have the discussion who would beat who.
Yeah.
This is a way of doing that in a fun way, but in a way that they can't hold back. You can't be like, well, Superman would never do that, or Batman would never do that. They have to do that. They have to use 100% of their power and their cunning and their strategy to take out each other. And it's not just a one-on-one fight. There's some challenges involved and everything that I can't wait for people to check out. This is going to be awesome.
They told us some about some stuff coming in December that hasn't been announced yet that sounds really fun.
Yes.
They did say that this is going to go through like early March.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to interrupt like all the books though. There's going to be some tie-ins in some of the main books, but it's not going to like affect every single thing. And different characters are going to have their different roles to play. They told us about the Batman Night Fight tie-in series, which sounds really cool. This event just sounds like it's going to be so much fun. The things that we could do with brackets and all that kind of stuff, there's the possibilities for fun with this are endless.
Yeah, and don't expect Superman just to wipe the floor with everybody. I know people have been saying that. I can tell you for sure that is not going to happen, because there are people out there that are a little bit more willing to go harder and more brutal than Superman is. Mm-hmm. And so maybe Superman's going to have a harder time in this than you think.
Right.
But you don't want to miss this. We can't stress enough. This is going to be awesome. People are going to be talking about this.
Yep.
And the stuff that we can't say that we know are in there is going to be, if you don't get this book, going to be the reason that you regret not getting this book.
Yeah, you are going to want this for sure. Yeah, you're going to want this.
So this is issue 1. Like we said, 4 issues. There's going to be some tie-ins and stuff, but we'll talk about those in the coming weeks when they are coming up on FOC. But we've got a bunch of awesome covers for this as well. So you've got your A cover here. This is an acetate cover, so you can peel that back and there's the full image. We've got a Jim Lee cover. We have a Daniel Warren Johnson. I've actually gone through, and every one of the issues of this that are up that you can like look ahead and get. I've ordered the Daniel Warren Johnson cover of because this is kind of a good analogy for what this book is going to be like. Because whoever, when we get to the end of this, we're going to see an Omega powered hero versus Darkseid.
Yeah.
And that's going to be awesome. We've got a Frank Cho cover, a Mike Del Mundo cover, a Ben Oliver face-off cover, a Dan Mora bracket wraparound, so you can see some of your heroes there that are going to be involved. Yes, that is a little Starro involved. There's some really cool ones in here. There is the Mark Spears kind of like trading card variant. There's the Dan Mora, Hangman, Adam Page AEW cameo. They're going to be doing these AEW cameo covers, I think, for each issue as well. There's a Scott Koblish variant that is, they describe this one as like, this has the energy of the book.
Yeah.
I can already see stuff on this cover that I know what happens, but some of these fights do actually happen in the book. And we also have a Greg Capullo cover.
That's really cool. I like that one.
Yeah.
So, with all that said, to go along with that book, we have this as well. This is Justice League, the Omega Act Special. This is a one-shot that comes out 1 week before DCKO #1. So this comes out on October 1st. DCKO #1 comes out on October 8th. And you're going to want this as well. So this is from Joshua Williamson and Yasmin Putri. And everything since the DC All-In Special has been building to this. The Time Trapper is on the run from Darkseid's Legion. And he witnesses, and they told us about this yesterday, and it blew my mind. So Time Trapper witnesses how the future is already lost to Darkseid, and the only hope of survival lies with the Justice League. And the Time Trapper does have a plan to save the future, but it means making an impossible offer to the League, and it is a very, very difficult choice that they have to make, and that's going to lead them into DCKO #1. That's going to lead them into doing the thing that they're going to do to win this. So there's we get a few brief glimpses at some things at the beginning of DCKO #1. We are going to get expanded looks at that stuff in this issue. So this is basically a prologue to DCKO #1. So if you're very excited about DCKO, please pick this up as well. You'll probably be okay if you don't, because again, the first issue of that will explain everything you need, but this will have some explanations as well. This will help catch you up if you haven't been reading Justice League or Superman or whatever else. So grab this as well, because we did not get to see the inside of this.
We did see some preview images because I was asking who's the artist on that.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
And it looks amazing.
It does look great. Yeah, Yasmin Putri, she did the artwork for Dark Knights of Steel, which I really love. So, but I guess what I'm thinking about is the stuff that we didn't see in here. But the stuff that this is going to give us looks at is very, very cool. It's big, it's heavy, so this is going to be a great book to get as well. So I'm on board for all the DCKO stuff at this point. The tie-ins, the one-shots, everything. I'm going to get all of it.
After we got off that retailer call, we were both like, yeah, we're all in on this. Like,
yeah, you sold me on everything.
Yeah. Before it was like, maybe I'll get this one and then maybe this one. Now it's like, I want it all. Like, it all sounds awesome.
Because I'm not reading Flash or Titans or anything like that, and those books tie in as well. And originally I was like, maybe I'll check them out or whatever, but now it's like, no, I'm getting every single book. When they explain what
those books are also going to be about, I love that these tie-ins to it are kind of like other characters' missions that they're going to be getting. Wait till you learn about the Batman one. That one is going to blow people's minds.
So, lots of cool stuff coming. So, in regards to this book, this is our A cover. There is a Kyung Yam cover with the Legion of Darkseid Saturn Girl. Golly. There's a Fernando Blanco cover and a Salvador LaRocca cover.
That's like the whole like story of Superman there. There's the Science Council, and that's very cool. Well, next up, because this wasn't big enough for DC, we have Absolute Evil #1. This is the first one-shot set in the Absolute Universe. This is the anniversary of 1 year into the Absolute Universe, And now the villains that we've been building up in all of the different series are coming together because there's heroes out there now, and these villains are going to have to work together if they're going to stop them. So you've got Ra's al Ghul, Veronica Cale, Eleanor Thrawn, Hector Hammond, and the mysterious Joker, who we have not seen a lot of, but I think we're actually going to get quite a bit in here, unite after the emergence of heroes. An insidious betrayal from within their group ranks as imminent, and if they don't take action, they will lose the planet that was built to be their playground. And if you know, this planet that the Absolute universe is powered on dark side energy, and these heroes are now kind of popping up to push back against that. There's going to be several shocking new character reveals. We already know we're getting Absolute Green Arrow in this. We got an early preview of this, just a couple of pages, and we already saw another one in that. Plus one
and I'm so happy about it.
Yeah, plus one big unmissable twist. So if you are an Absolute fan of any of the books, you're going to want to read this because this is going to involve some of the characters that you've been seeing in those. Plus, if you're excited about Absolute Joker, I feel like this is where we're going to get a big thing in that.
Yeah.
Oh, we also... Scott Snyder did tell us something about Absolute Batman, also about another character that's going to be appearing in there. That's very cool, but I'm not going to give that away either. But I mean, Absolute books are like some of the hottest stuff on the shelf. You don't want to miss Absolute Evil because now it's time for the villains. We've got our A cover here by and this is by Al Ewing and Giuseppe Concoli with Stefano Nessi working on it as well. We've got the Camuncoli A cover. We have a Fabrizio Di Tommaso cover with Ra's al Ghul. We have a Perel cover. We have a Dustin Nguyen cover. We have a Riley Rossmo regular cover. There's all your villains all together. Plus, there is a foil virgin cover of that.
I think that's the one I'm going to get.
Yeah, I love that. Especially with Bane on there.
Yeah.
And we have a blank sketch cover as well.
Well, there's some other great books from some other publishers. One you may have heard of called Marvel. This is Marvel Knights Punisher #1. So this is from Jimmy Palmiotti and Dan Panosian on art. And this is set in the same continuity as the current The World to Come book that's featuring, it's all about the death of Black Panther and the destruction of the world, presumably. And so this is set in that same continuity. And this is going to show us how Frank Castle went from the killer of killers that we know to the man he is in this story. And it says that it's one of the most savage comics ever. We don't really know much more than that, but I wonder if he's going to come into conflict with maybe Black Panther's son, who is the one that's kind of like responsible for all the bad things that we still haven't seen happen yet, but that we know do happen. Or maybe he's separated from all of that stuff in Wakanda and he's just dealing with whatever bad stuff happened as a result of whatever Black Panther's son ends up doing. So very excited for this. I wasn't completely sold on The World to Come right at the beginning, but after reading issue #2, it clicked a little bit more for me. So now I'm more interested, and then bringing the Punisher into it is really cool. And that's on top of the new Punisher #1 that comes out next week, and also the Punisher Daredevil miniseries is coming soon. Lots of cool Punisher stuff. So this is our A cover. There is a Ben Harvey variant and a David Marquez variant.
Very cool. Next up, we have Harley Quinn x Elvira. This is really exciting. A crossover between DC and Dynamite. And what a perfect combination. This is going to be by Amanda Conner and Jeremy Palmiotti, who worked on one of the best runs of Harley Quinn ever, with art by Amanda Conner and Juan Sammy. And in this, you have Elvira, who her beloved show that she hosts, covering horror movies and making fun quips and everything, is on the chopping block from the network. So what is she going to do? Bringing in Harley to throw, it says, together going to throw the greatest Halloween party Brooklyn has ever seen, whether the borough likes it or not. So the two are coming together to save Elvira's show with all the crazy hijinks and over-the-top goofiness and raunchiness that is there to be had. So this sounds really fun. I love the team working on it. And this is going to be, I'm not sure how many issues this is. I think it's just a mini series, like 5-ish. But yeah, we've got our A cover here by Amanda Connor. We have a Chad Harden cover, which Chad Harden was one of the artists on Jamie Palmiotti and Amanda Connor's runs of Harley Quinn. We have a Linsner cover, a Ben Caldwell cover, a Mark Spears cover, and a blank sketch cover.
Next up is Return to Planet Hulk #1. This is written by Greg Pak and the artist by Carlo Pagulayan. And this sounds like it's going to take place during the original Planet Hulk story. After escaping the Red King's deadly arena, Hulk faces ferocious monsters and smashes his way through malicious machines and wild robotic terrors in one of his most important battles of survival on Sakaar. And it says that there are 2 possible destinies that he could take. The Sakaar Sun, which is the savior of the planet, or the Worldbreaker, the legendary destroyer. I guess this is set during the original because I don't really know. I mean, I was thinking unless this is like after Imperial and he goes back to Sakaar, but I don't think that sounds right because She-Hulk is going to be there. So I think this is just revisiting, telling more tales of him on Sakaar when he first went there originally. And it says, will his rage only fuel the chaos of this alien world? Which is kind of weird that it presents those choices because we know what ends up happening to Sakaar anyway. So, but I love Planet Hulk and I'm always game for more of it. So this is our A cover. There's a David Parator cover and a Lionel Francis U cover.
That was great. That's awesome. Next up, we have Batman #2. Batman #1 came out this week. Also, we do still have some of the blind bags left for #1, but they are flying off the shelf. So if you missed out on getting a blind bag, getting some of those awesome foil covers, make sure to check the website because we do still have some in stock. But issue #1 was great. A very fresh take on Batman. Not that it's that much different, but it just feels like I saw a review that said it feels like coming home. Like this feels like the Batman you know and love.
It almost kind of feels like, how they made Superman feel so classic at the start of the dawn of DC. And it feels like they're now doing this for Batman. Like you said, it's not that much different, but there's just something about it that just feels a bit more classic and kind of refreshing.
Yeah. Also, definitely having Robin in there as well. So we've actually read issue #2 of this, and if you like #1, we think #2 is even better.
Yep.
Robin is cuffed and tossed in the back of a GCPD van with a dozen of uncuffed violent criminals. Because basically GCPD were like, oh, well, I guess he's back there. Will he have he'll have to use everything he's learned from Batman in hopes of surviving. Will Batman arrive in time, or will this mission change how the city and the GCPD view the dynamic duo? And there's some pretty big ramifications at the end of this. But if the first issue was like Batman focused, this one, it does have Batman in it, but it is cool to see Robin.
I'd say about half of this issue is only Robin.
Yeah.
Tim Drake Robin in that suit.
Yeah, showing why he's so good at what he does.
Yeah.
This is a super fun issue, but by the end, you're going to start to get a little bit of an idea of the new status quo in Gotham.
Yeah. And, we talked about in #1. #1 was pretty much a one and done story, and this one is as well. And Matt Fraction actually said that every issue is going to basically be a one and done issue. There's not going to be like a big 6-issue arc with some big villain trying to take over Gotham. There is something, especially with the GCPD, that is going to be a bit of a connecting story. That's going to be looming in the background of every story. But it sounds like from what we've seen and what we've read, that every issue is going to mostly be just a self-contained story to that one book. So that means every issue you get a full story. And that I'm on board for that because we've had a lot of big Batman stories, and I'm ready for like just some one and done.
Some classic. You're going to get more villains that way. You're going to get more action, different set pieces.
And I just want to say again, I know there's a lot of Tim Drake fans out there. I'm one of them. Tim Drake fans, you are going to want this issue.
Yeah, this is the most classic Tim has felt since like his original solo run.
I was gonna say probably since the 90s. Yeah.
So this is awesome. We've got our A cover. I love the new logo too.
Yeah.
It even's reminiscent of a little of like the Batman 66 with the stretch logo, but it looks so great. So we've got our A cover here by your interior artist Jorge Jimenez. We've got a Jim Lee cover, also very very hush looking there. We have a Tedesco cover, which that basically happens in the
Mm-hmm.
book. We have a Jimenez cover, which this is great. It goes right with your A cover of #1.
Yeah, I think that's the one I'm getting because of the corner box art and it
Yep.
matches issue 1.
We have a Mike Allred cover, classic Batman, because of the bat DNA. It
Right.
just surges through his veins.
He was bitten by a
He
radioactive
has to
bat.
sleep
Mm-hmm.
upside down. We have
I love this,
a Jorge Jimenez Bat Gadget variant, which
Yeah.
is so cool.
I love close-ups of the bat gadgets.
So
I don't get that much.
hopefully people, when they read it today, got to see all of his new gadgets, and I think there is more to come.
There's more in this issue.
Yes, so I love that kind of new addition. And there's going to be a foil variant for that as well.
Next up is a new book from Mad Cave called Gunpowder Prophets. I'm not sure how many issues this is going to be, but it sounds really fun. This is from Justin Jordan and Patrick Piazzalunga, and this is described as 70s style horror mixed with grindhouse action. And it's about those two guys you see on the cover right there, Huck and Marley, and they help people for money. But for some reason, their help always seems to involve massive amounts of property damage, a somehow guaranteed collision with the supernatural, and if Marley has his way, and Marley is the big guy there, a huge body count. So he just likes to, he's a big bruiser, basically. So they're known as the Gunpowder Prophets, and in this issue, or in this story, they are tasked with rescuing a girl, and I'm assuming that's her. Her name is America Argento, I think. They are tasked with rescuing her from a backwoods cult, and it turns weird when their super groovy leader, when the leader's supernatural powers turn out to be very, very real. So this sounds like like a fun, like, buddy cop, but also supernatural. This comes out in the middle of October, so this sounds like a great October read. I love the art style. Like, this just sounds like a ton of fun.
Yeah.
So this is our A cover by Patrick Piazzalunga. So that's your interior artist, and then there's a gorgeous Jorge Corona cover. I love that too.
Yeah, I hope that happens.
Yeah.
I want to read
Oh,
that.
all right.
Well, next up we have Dungeons and Dragons: The Fallbacks. This is, I believe, the first D&D book from Dark Horse now that they have the license for it. It's to be by Greg Pak with Wilton Santos and Edvin Savage. And this is, if you've read the novel D&D Fallbacks Bound for Ruin, this is using the characters from that. But you don't have to have read that to follow this. Just know that the Fallbacks are basically not the, it says the world yearns for heroes, but what they get are the Fallbacks. These are your second string. These are maybe not your Drist. These are the other guys hanging out in the tavern that maybe you can't afford the big heroes, but maybe you can get these guys.
It's like your alt characters if you're playing WoW or something.
Yeah.
You know?
You don't level them up as fast, but you kind of want to see their starting zones.
Yeah.
A party of daring, dubious, and dysfunctional adventurers who arrive in the city of Loudwater in search of gold and glory, but what they find is kobold thieves who put the Fallbacks in the crosshairs of another rival team of deeply annoying local heroes. Will the Fallbacks pull off their heist for the ages, or will they sacrifice it all to put these heroes in their place? So if you want a fun D&D, it's like two rival D&D parties going at each other. This sounds really, really fun. This is a 4-issue miniseries. So you've got our A cover here by Marguerite Sauvage. You have a Uzuri cover, another Uzuri cover. So these are like two of your characters. We have a Steven Segovia variant and a Dan Panosian variant.
And next is Hello Halloween. This is this is part of the Hello Darkness series. I don't know if this is going to be.
I think it's a one shot.
Yeah, I think it's just a one shot. And this is just like Hello Darkness is. This is an anthology book that has. It says it's a return. It's a series with another chilling installment of bone-rattling horror. I couldn't get that out. We don't know about the creators or the stories themselves. I don't even know how many stories there's going to be in this one, but it's going to be several. It just says that it's terrifying new tales just in time to haunt your seasonal reading list. And this comes out on October 22nd, so perfect time. And this is also going to feature a brand new Graveyard Club story from R.L. Stine and Carola Borelli. So yeah, if you're reading Hello Darkness, Pick this up as well if you love spooky
It's
books.
it's funny how it's like I don't know how different it can be from a regular Hello Darkness book because they're both spooky stories.
Yeah, maybe the stories are specifically about Halloween.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, that would be neat. So this is our A cover. There is a Roush variant, a Bastion variant, a Roush full art variant, and a Frizen variant. That one's cool.
Very, very cool. Next up, we have Strange Tales, keeping on the series of Halloween-style books. This is going to be by Jeremy Whitley and Bailey Underwood. And it is Marvel's Halloween, but usually they do like an anthology-style one. This is a little bit different. So it's Halloween, and Nico Minoru joins her girlfriend, Carleon Dean, and friends Teddy Altman and Billy Kaplan for a rousing RPG, Who's Howls and Hydras. But when the dice roll leads to goblins materializing in real life and her friends disappearing, Nico is soon left running through New York City streets with a very real dragon on her tail. Desperate for help, she finds herself at the Scarlet Witch's last door. So it kind of has a little tie-in with the ongoing Scarlet Witch stuff. Will these two witches find the missing heroes and piece together how this board game came to life, or will their adventure end in a critical loss? So I like this mix of a little bit Halloween, a little bit like D&D, campaign, all magic, all fun. So this sounds really, really cool. And this is just a one-shot as well, I believe. So we've got our A cover here. We have an Annie Wu variant and a Lusky variant, which if she wears that, that is pretty awesome.
Next up, Next up is Imperial War, Imperial Guardians. This is another of the one-shot tie-ins. I think the Nova one comes out next week, so I'm really excited about that. This is from Dan Abnett and Jonathan Hickman, and the art is by Corey Smith and Luca Maresca. And while the big galactic battle is going on over in the main Imperial book, in this one, Super Skrull finds himself at the center of a seditious scheme with consequences that will be felt by the entire cosmos. And he's not the only superpower looking for answers. An unlikely team, and it looks like there is a team on top of that book, or on top of that cover, an unlikely team is on the hunt to avert disaster before galactic order is lost for good. And if it's anything like the other one-shots, it sounds like this is going to lead into the, I don't know if they're all ongoing. I know the Black Panther one is a mini-series, but there's more of these. These are going to have either mini-series or ongoings after Imperial is over, and this is probably going to lead into that. So this is our A cover. There is a Dolly variant and a Michelle Bandini variant.
I love Super Skrull, and Dan Abnett wrote a Super Skrull miniseries back during the height of the Cosmic Marvel stuff. So this is gonna be really cool.
Yeah, Darkhawk is back. I love Darkhawk.
Well, next up we have Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1. This is going to be kind of our first comic series based on the TV show and the movies of these new Ninja Turtles. This is by Mikey Levitt, who is a producer on the show. Louis Joyce is doing the art, and that is your artist from Godzilla Skate or Die. So this has a really cool like punk feel to it. And in this first issue, Donatello is invited to a prestigious robotics camp for genius kids. He's excited to rebuild Metalhead and compete for the camp's prize for best robot. But when the competition goes haywire, Donnie's forced to wonder who really invented him and what do they want with Metalhead. So this sounds really fun if you're a fan of the new Ninja Turtles movie and TV show. You don't want to miss out on this one. We've got our A cover here. That's your interior artist, it's Joyce, and we have a Wong variant. Looks pretty right to me.
Yeah. This is a new book from Image called The Author Immortal. This is written by Frank J. Barbary, and the art is by Morgan Beam. And this is about a guy named Hector Ramirez. He's a failed writer who gets the opportunity of a lifetime, and that is to help reboot the fantasy book series that defined his childhood. So he loved this stuff when he was little, and now he gets to work on it. But when he discovers that the original author of that series has mysteriously vanished into his fictional world, Hector is pulled into a realm where stories are alive and some are willing to kill to stay in control. So this almost sounds like an isekai anime where he gets pulled into like this like fantasy world, but it's one that he grew up reading and loving. So that sounds really awesome. So this is our A cover by, that's your interior artist right there. And there's Yuko Shimizu cover.
Next up, we have Gotham Academy First Year. So if you are familiar with, quite a few years ago, the Gotham Academy series was kind of a fan favorite series. It is returning in this one by some of its original creators, Brendan Fletcher, Carl Kerschel, and Becky Cloonan, with art by Marco Ferrari. And in this one, we meet Olive Silverlock, who was a main character in the original one, but we are seeing how she ends up at the school when Batman saves her when her mother loses control, and Commissioner Gordon pawns her off to Bruce Wayne, who promptly shovels her off to Gotham Academy. So, and of course, Gotham Academy it's a school in Gotham, so there's hidden doors and trap doors and mean, weird teachers, and maybe some of the teachers are actually Batman villains. She'll have to learn to navigate this new school in her first year, meet her new friends. We also, we're introduced to Maps, who is a great character who ended up being Robin in a kind of a what if future story. So it says fall in love with fan favorite characters all over again in this revealing prequel, taking readers back to Gotham Academy. Um, so it's more mystery, romance, and teen drama, guaranteed to delight fans of the original series and introduce new readers to the lovable cast. And don't miss the year it all began. So if you're a fan of that original one, or you've never read it but you're interested in it, this is going to be a great jumping on place for that. So we've got our A cover here. We've got a Destin to Win cover and a Sweeney Boo cover. And I really like the original Gotham Academy. It had a fun kind of like the way the school was kind of mysterious and all that was really fun.
Next up is Marvel Black, White, and Blood and Guts. This is the first issue. It sounds like the same deal as all the other Black, White, and Blood books, but I guess blood wasn't enough, so they had to add guts into it as well. The next series, the next series is gonna be Black, White, and Blood and Guts and Bones and all that kind of stuff. So, just like all the other Black, White, and Blood or Black, White, and Red books, it's going to be like 3 different short little one-and-done stories. We don't know too much about them. We do know in this book we're getting a story about Blade from Al Ewing and Kev Walker. We're getting another story about Blade from G. Willow Wilson and Devmalia Promanik, who is the artist on Moon Knight right now, which his artwork is great. And there's an Iron Man story from Chris Condon and Claire Rowe. So don't really know what the stories are yet, but this also comes out. All these books come out in October at this point, so it's probably going to be a great Halloween read as well. So this is our A cover. There's a Derek Chew cover. There is a Greg Land 250th homage cover, and a Joshua Cassara variant. That's awesome. Yeah,
I really like that.
I just noticed that.
Next up, we have the Disavowed. This sounds awesome. This is from Massive. This is by Josh Blaylock, and the art's by Pop Mon, who I loved his art on the He-Man and the Master Universe series from DC years ago. This is described as G.I. Joe meets the boys. And we are introduced to a character, Matthew Hauser. He never knew his father, a decorated soldier who died in combat, but family stories say he wasn't part of any ordinary unit. He served in the United Five, a poorly kept government secret and the stuff of mid-90s internet conspiracy lore. Their mission: stop Komodo, a grandiose cult turned terrorist faction claiming to wield knowledge from another realm. So clearly that sounds like G.I. Joe
and Cobra,
versus Cobra. This time they're Komodo.
It's funny because I think Duke's name, isn't it Cole Hauser?
Yeah.
But it's not spelled like that, though.
No.
I think Cole is Hauser. That's Howzer.
Yeah, and so now the secret war between the two ended in 1989 with heavy losses on both sides, including Matthew's father. But driven by relentless obsession to learn more about his father's fate, Matthew enlists in a military and uncovers a truth far more brutal, bizarre, and debaucherous than any conspiracy theory could have imagined. Now, after decades in the shadow, the United Five have returned, not as the world's hidden protectors, but to stop the very heroes it once called its own, because the greatest threat isn't Komodo anymore, it's the Disavowed. So they have to send a team against another kind of team that branched off and everything. So this sounds really, really fun. If you are a fan of GI Joe, but you want like a more mature version of that, especially with invoking the boys in here, it's going to be really crazy.
And I guess it's from Devil's Due, or maybe Devil's Due as published by Massive. But Devil's Due, they used to have the GI Joe.
Yeah.
They used to do GI Joe books like in the early 2000s.
And here's the awesome thing: this A cover is by Michael Golden.
Yeah.
So I mean,
that's
original one of the original GI Joe artists doing this A cover. We also have a Steve Kurth connecting variant, which I love that. It's kind of an homage of the J. Scott Campbell cover of the original GI Joe. We have a Trimus Heimel homage cover, of course, a homage of The Boys #1, and a Tim Seeley homage cover.
That's straight up J. Scott Campbell, G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Like from Devil's Due, I believe.
Yeah, so that is awesome. But wait, you're like, I love this, but I also love G.I. Joe. Well, guess what? We're getting Cold Slither #1. This is a one-shot by Tim Seeley and Juan Cabal and Rex Locus. And are you familiar with Cold Slither? The definitely not the Dreadnoks dress up as an 80s hair metal band. This is the greatest band ever reunites to rock and rule the world. Discover the true, well, kind of story of what happened to Cold Slither through the eyes of the band themselves, who are, of course, not the Dreadnoks on an undercover mission. But as Cobra is topping the charts and dominating the world, can G.I. Joe find a way to change the tune? So this is so much fun. This is so just straight out of the classic 80s G.I. Joe. And just a one-shot. So if you want to see some rock and roll Cobra, check this one out. We've got our A cover by Steve Beach. We have a Juan Cabal variant. That's your interior artist. And we also have a blank sketch cover. That was just our opening stanza.
Yeah, there's still tons more.
Because it's time for Marvel's big event.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've had this section, too.
Yeah.
But there is finally an event to talk about. And I guess we will be using that for DCKO as well. And oh my gosh. All right. So the first one in this section is Amazing X-Men #1. This is not the first book in the Age of Revelation era, but this is the one that is the that's kind of the stand-in for Jed McKay's X-Men right now, which is kind of like the flagship X-Men book. So this is from Jed McKay, and the art is by Mahmoud Asrar. And it just says, it always says X years later. So roughly 10 years later, on the run after a deadly clash with Revelation's chief assassin, the Shattered X-Men desperately gamble everything on one last mission. This sounds really cool. With the help from an unexpected ally, they venture into the haunted ruins of Grey Malkin, which, at the beginning of the From the Ashes storyline, Grey Malkin, which was the school originally, was turned into a prison. And then now, by the time we get to the Age of Revelation era, it's in ruins apparently. So I don't know how it got there or what they'll find there. It says what they find there may change everything if they survive. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm excited for all of these books, and this is going to be. I kind of feel like this will be one of like the main ones. I think. So this is your A cover. There's a Sanford Green variant. There is a Mike Hawthorne Revelation variant. And a Mark Bagley Beast variant. I want to know more about Beast. Is that like a third mutation where he's all gone wild, or he's just old maybe?
Yeah, he looks like almost like Wendigo.
Yeah. Well, we know that he's in another book.
Yeah, Wendigo is Wolverine. Next up, we have Binary #1. This is part of the Age of Revelation. This is by Stephanie Phillips and Giada Belviso. And I really don't know from this because this one is kind of taking the place of Phoenix.
Right.
But is this Jean Grey or is this Monica
idea.
Rambeau? Or we don't quite know yet.
Is it anybody or is it just the raw Phoenix Force in a humanoid form?
X years later, in the ashes of the old world, to survive, she is reborn. A cosmic force channeling the Phoenix itself. With the universe crumbling, Binary returns to save what's left. But power this great always comes with a price. And the end of everything might begin with her.
Maybe it's Carol Danvers.
Maybe
she was
Carol.
Binary when she was hanging out with the X-Men originally. She was Binary, so maybe.
I think it would be fun if maybe we don't quite know for most of it who this is. But once again, it sounds awesome. Stephanie Phillips is an incredible writer. Binary is such a cool character. So this is another great addition to the Age of Revelation. We've got our A cover here. We've got a Ricky Yagawa cover, not final art. I'm sure it'll be in color. We have a Talavera cover.
That's great.
We have a Francisco Mobley Revelation variant. I
Oh,
guess that
there's
is
Carol Danvers. I guess it is
Carol.
her. Yeah.
And a David Nakayama cover.
Okay. This is Laura Kinney Sabretooth #1. And this is from Erica Schultz and Valentina Pinti. And again, X years later, Laura Kinney has taken the name Sabretooth and fights beside Revelation himself. But why did she abandon her legacy? And what secrets does she keep from the mutant world? So for Laura Kinney to become Sabretooth, that's a pretty big deal. So there has to be some reason why she went that extreme. Maybe she's undercover. Maybe
Yeah.
she's trying to get it Revelation herself, but we won't know until we read this. But it sounds really cool. This is our A cover. There's a Pablo Villalobos variant.
Ooh, that's cool.
Yeah, there's a Ricky Yagawa variant. There is a Dan Jurgens variant and an Ramcharon variant. Ramcharon variant.
Next up, this one may be the
This
one I'm
one's-
most looking
yeah.
forward to because it is crazy. This is Longshots #1 by Gary Duggan and Jonathan Hickman with art by Alan Robinson. And the solicitation for this is fun because it's kind of like it's narrated by Mojo himself.
Yeah.
It says, buy this comic or all your favorite heroes will die. X years later, and Mojo's got a new game. And who are the contestants in his game? Not all X-Men. It's Wonder Man, Hellcat, Bishop, Rhino, and Kraven. So we've got some Spider-Man characters in there as well. There are no rules. One survivor wins, the others die. Mojo promises that you can vote for the winner with your dollars, but probably you can't. Mojo cannot promise that any of this is true or that you can even vote. All decisions will be made by Mojo and Mojo alone. This is Mojo's Dojo. It's fame or fatality in the wildest X book of the year. I love Mojoverse stuff. This is a crazy group of characters. I love that Rhino and Kraven are in here. And it just sounds like this one is going to be a blast.
Wonder Man.
And Wonder Man
being in there is cool.
So this one sounds awesome. We've got our A cover here. We've got a Ron Lim Hellcat variant. We have a Ken Lashley Revelations cover. And a David Baldion cover with, of course, Longshot on there.
I really hope Longshot is part of it. Maybe
part
he
of
helps
Longshots.
him. Yeah, I mean, maybe. All right, this is World of Revelation #1, and this sounds really cool too. This is from Ryan North and Al Ewing. The art is by Augustin Elizio and Jesus Marino. And this sounds like that this is going to show the impact of Age of Revelation on the non-mutant side of the Marvel Universe. And what's really cool, the solicitation says the world outside your window is gone. Because Marvel's always been the world outside your window, but not anymore. X years later, what happened to the Fantastic Four? What horrors plague the East Coast? How does the rest of the world survive the rise of Revelation? So it sounds like, there's so many books talking about, how the X-Men or how the mutants are dealing with this. But this affects everybody because this is a worldwide thing. And it even reaches as far out as Araco or Mars. What does Apocalypse think of his heir's new empire? Like maybe he'll be like, whoa, dial it back a little bit, kid. I'm going to have to come and, whoop you. So yeah,
Franklin Richards on the cover too, which is really cool.
Yeah, and Hulkling and Wiccan, and yeah, so basically what's everybody else think about this?
Yeah.
So this is our A cover. There's a Mike McCone Apocalypse variant, a Giada Belviso variant, a Carlos Magno variant, and with the Thing. That's cool. And then
the zombie variant.
Oh, that is the zombie variant. Yeah, and then a CF Villa variant.
Very cool. And we're not done yet. X-Men Book of Revelation. #1. This sounds like this is like what's going on with the character Revelation.
Yeah.
This is by Jed McKay and Netho Diaz, which is also your current team on X-Men.
On X-Men, yeah.
The game of power commences X years later after the assassination one of his prized choristers. Revelation welcomes a new mutant to his capital city of Philadelphia. But the capital of the Revelation territories hides many dangers, not the least of which are her rival choristers. And Fabian Cortez will allow no one to challenge him for Revelation's favor. But this new mutant has a secret ally, the Ghost of Philadelphia. So who's the Ghost of Philadelphia? Who's this new chorister? Which sound like it's his version of like his elite generals.
Kind of sounds like Magneto's acolytes.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Like the next step down leaders. But yeah, this sounds awesome too. So maybe if you want to get some little insider knowledge of what's going on with the big villain of the book, you'll check this one out. We've got our A cover here. We have a Mike McCone Revelation character variant. We have a Marcus Toe Revelation variant. Maybe the ghost is Kitty Pryde.
That's what I was wondering. Maybe she's like stuck faced.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And there's a Marco Cicchetto foil variant, which I love this look for Wolverine. This like skull mask and stuff is very cool. Next up, more Essential Comics because there wasn't enough already.
This sounds like the coolest thing ever. So this is Ice Cream Man, the Mortal Coil Shuffle card set special. So let me tell you about this. This is going to be $9.99, and it's a one-time only, one-of-a-kind story told via a deck of 55 playing cards. So this isn't even going to be a comic book, a traditional comic book anyway. It's a deck of cards. It's a custom designed deck of cards featuring custom backs, custom card backs, and a custom box. Some cards will tell part of the story, while other cards cast inscrutable spells on unwitting characters, and some must be joined with other cards to form a complete piece of art. And it says that that's this card set's version of like a double page spread. It says that this is going to be printed once only, no second printings, no new runs, and never collected in a trade. So if you want this story, you've got to buy this deck of cards. I can't imagine that this won't like go fast. I mean,
yeah, Ice Cream Man already is such a cult favorite series, and no one has done anything like this.
This has never been done before. This is like a first of its kind storytelling device. They're telling a story that you would see in a comic book, but it's in a deck of cards, and you're going to have to go through the cards. And I don't know if you just flip one over and you just read the story, or if it says, you know, go to this card, or I don't know. But if you want this story, it's a deck of cards. It's awesome. And it's only $10 as well, so not much more than just a regular comic. Well, I was going to say this is our A cover, but no, this is it. This is just the box of cards.
This is the box of cards, yep. Next up, we have one, especially if you're a fan of the art in Absolute Batman, this is Good Devils Don't Play Fair with Evil. This is a one-shot written by David Brothers, and the art and cover are by Nick Dragotta. So very cool in there. And it sounds crazy. It says, 3 tales that hit like a truck. Who will rule the roost in the post-apocalyptic world? Will the greatest boxer alive actually live up to his self-proclaimed legend? And just who will survive in America? So, 3 just different stories. It doesn't even really sound like there's a huge theme to them. But Nick Dragotta drawing them all. So very cool. And just the one cover for that.
Next up is Little Nightmares Descent to Nowhere. This is the first issue in a 4-issue miniseries written by Lonnie Nadler, and the art is by Dennis Manhiri. And this is based on the Little Nightmares video game, and it's launching at the same time as Little Nightmares 3. I don't know that I ever played the second one, but I did play the first one, and it's fun and creepy. And it's about a girl named Hush. She is a timid, mute little girl. She wakes up in a jail cell. She is desperate to escape, and she befriends another prisoner there named Mono, who understands this world far better than she does, and they're going to have to find a way out of a very dark dungeon. And elsewhere, Myra is a detective exhausted by life who meets someone who reignites her will to make a difference. And they resume investigating unresolved cases of children vanishing year after year without a trace. So, you know, the video game was like you just wake up as this little, I think it was a little girl, and you have to sort of navigate through this ship of these just like scary, hulking, human-looking things, but they also looked almost like monsters, and you'd have to wait till they turn around and scoot, and there was puzzles and all kinds of stuff. Very creepy, and now they're making a comic book of it. So this is our A cover. There's a Damian Worm variant. There is a Dennis Manhiri variant, so that's your interior artist. Yeah, that's what the game is like. You sort of have to wait until your captor is turned around. There's a video game concept art variant. Ooh. There is a blank sketch variant. There is a Sweeney Boo variant, and a Dennis Manhiri Virgin variant.
Well, next up, the return of 30 Days of Night. This is 30 Days of Night Falling Sun #1. This is by Rodney Barnes, and the art is by Chris Sheehan. The hit franchise is back with a terrifying new tale. The town of Barrow has moved on. Those who remember the vampiric terror of 2 decades past would rather not talk about it. Those who don't remember don't believe the stories. Ignorance will be their downfall because a dark memory is stirring in the heart of Romania and has set its sights on Barrow, the death place of Vicente. While vampires seek their revenge, their fallen leader in Alaska, troubled teen Jalen James seeks sanctuary after fleeing gang violence in Los Angeles. Jalen needs a fresh start, but he's unlikely to find it as the sun falls. So, the return of 30 Days of Night, one of the, most classic comic vampire stories, is back with this miniseries. I'm not sure how many issues it's going to be, but sounds really fun. You've got your A cover here by Sheehan, which that's your interior artist, and a Damian Worm variant. And there's continuing stories because stuff keeps rolling.
Yeah. This is Adventures of Superman, Book of L, number 2. Number 1 came out this week. I thought it was awesome. This is going to be a 12-issue series. And in this one, Superman is trapped in a far-flung future. We saw that happen in the first issue. And he's fighting alongside one of his own descendants for an Earth that he doesn't recognize. And that descendant is Ronan on the cover there. And here, the House of El, in this future, the House of El has been fractured and lost, exiled from Earth and hunted by its enemies. Can Superman reunite the Elves in time to save the universe from his most powerful enemy and find his way back to his own time? So if you and this is heavily tied into all that World stuff from Phil Kennedy Johnson. He's the writer of this. So if you really like the World saga, I thought it was really cool. This is kind of the follow-up to that. So this is our A cover. We have a Ricardo Federici variant, a Leslie Larix Lee cover, and a Serge Acuna variant. Hey, Oso and Otho.
Yeah.
I'm trying to learn their names.
Next up, we have The Punisher, or Punisher Red Band number 2. Number 1 comes out this coming week on Wednesday. We'll be able to talk about it more then. But this is Polybag. This is going to be brutal Punisher like you want. And not a whole lot of info about this one. I think it has the same solicitation as number 1.
Okay.
Just saying the Punisher's back, dangerous and lethal as ever. How long until whoever plucked him from Weird World regrets doing so?
And I think he doesn't know how he's back.
Yeah.
And we don't either. So, like, we're all in the dark here, but we'll find out, I'm sure.
I'm very excited about this because I love classic Punisher like this. So, we've got our A cover here. We've got a Paulo Sequeira variant.
He's very surprised on that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm back.
Yeah, he just woke up right in that moment. And we have a Tedesco variant.
Next is Spider-Man 94, number 2. Number 1 came out this week, and it was super fun. The continuation of the animated series from the 90s. And in this one, Spider-Man is left with lots of questions after his first encounter with Kane. And we saw Kane a lot in the first issue. But where did Kane come from, and what are his connections to Morlun? So Morlun, who isn't that old of a Spider-Man villain, is getting the animated treatment. And I want to know why Kane refers to Morlun as father.
Yeah.
I think it's more of an adopted thing. This is our A cover right here. There's a John Tyler Christopher action figure variant.
I have that figure.
Oh, yeah. There's a Mark Bagley variant. There is a Marvel Animation variant and a Nick Brad. Oh, no. And then there is the Super Spider-Man 94 number 1 second print. This is the Nick Bradshaw variant. Well, no, this is the A cover, but like black and white except for the main characters.
It's a variant from the original number 1 A cover.
Right.
It's black and white.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Star Wars Han Solo Hunt for the Falcon number 2. Number 1 came out this week. It was a lot of fun. I love that we're getting stories set after Return of the Jedi, just right before Force Awakens. And this one, Han and Chewie are hot on the trail of the Falcon and have to face off against Raptor droids along the way. So if you enjoyed number 1, don't miss out on this one in this really cool mini-series. We've got our A cover here and a Carlo Pagulayan variant.
Next up is Marvel Knights: The World to Come, number 3. It feels like it's been a minute since number 2 came out. And in this one, some of T'Challa's history is revealed for the first time since his death. The key to saving the future lies in both his past and the past of the man who will destroy the world. And as we know, that's his son, Katama. So yeah, just more cool story here. This is our A cover. There's a Chris Allen variant and a J. Scott Campbell Just Spectacular variant. And that is pretty spectacular.
It's pretty spectacular. Yeah. Well, next up we have Cheetah and Cheshire rob the Justice League number 3. Number 2 is really cool as we saw them start to put the team together that are going to break into the Watchtower. But in this one, the crew's assembled, but how are they finally going to get into the Watchtower? It's kind of hard for these very, street level characters to get into a space station that is currently orbiting and full of superheroes. But looks like that's going to be the next leg of their mission. So we've got our A cover here. We have a Perel cover. and a Nubavitch variant.
Next up is Absolute Green Lantern number 7. Number 6 came out this week, right? Yeah, and it was crazy. The truth of Absolute Oa is revealed to us here. I love the line that was in number 6 from this week. How far out is the world that's coming? And they kept saying that. From across the depths of space, the Black Stars are turning their attention towards Earth, and only Tomar Ray stands in their way. And we see Tomar Ray on the cover, but number 6 told us, like, what does that mean? What does Tomar Ray mean, really? It's more of a title than a name. So can't wait to see more of this. This is our A cover. There's a Taran Clark variant. There's a Leslie Larix Lee variant and a Gilliam March variant.
Next up, Absolute Superman number 12. Number 11 came out this week, and it was awesome and scary with Brainiac. Well, now, after what happened at the end of that, so begins the invasion of Kansas. Will Superman truly become the son of the demon, Ra's al Ghul? It's looking pretty rough out there, and I don't know what's going to happen next. So, just the next issue of Absolute Superman looks awesome. Got our A cover here. We have a Jay Lee cover and a Chris Anka cover.
Next is Rook Exodus number 7. Rook Exodus is back after taking a few months off, starting a brand new story arc. We have a digital preview copy of this. I read it today, and it is so cool. In this one, Rook and Direwolf set out to find Direwolf's father, the warden known as Bloodhound, because he's the only one who can fix the grid and in turn, like, fix the planet, basically. Or no, not fix the grid, fix the world engine is what it is. Yeah, the world engine. But the only problem is he has succumbed to madness, and we see him, like, he is the warden of, like, wild dogs, and we see him, like, running in packs and stuff. And Rook reaches out to the warden of goats named Matterhorn for help finding Bloodhound. And this is also the first appearance of another, well, maybe it's not the first appearance, but we see another warden named Stag, who has a really cool fight sequence with Bloodhound, because again, Bloodhound is all, like, kind of gone mad and
feral.
Yeah, kind of feral. And this other warden Stag comes in, and you have, like, these dogs fighting stags and these other two wardens going at it. So if you liked the first, like, the first story arc, the first 6 issues, you're definitely gonna like this, and I'm just glad that it's back.
Yeah, the trade paperback's out of volume 1 of this.
Yeah.
Pick that up, and then you can jump right into this.
Or there's a deluxe hardcover of the first 6 issues coming out in October,
Ooh.
which I think I'm gonna grab and then get this one too. So this is our A cover there from Jason Fabok. There's a Jason Fabok and Brad Anderson Stag cover. So there's Stag, and then a Kale New Connecting variant. And in the back of this issue, they show what this full picture is like, all the different covers, and it looks awesome. And there's some other wardens on there that we haven't seen much of.
Well, next up, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Shredder number 2. Number 1 came out, I think, last week. It was really fun, and to see Shredder now back in this very different Ninja Turtles world, kind of one that left him behind when he went to hell and all of that. But he's back now, and Shredder descends into New York's underground to meet with a secret crime lord who's achieved mythical status in Shredder's long absence. And of course, I think this is going to be a series of Shredder building back up to being the top dog in the crime underworld. So, yeah, just watch Shredder go. This is your A cover for that, where there is a Bandini cover, which is really cool, and a Kale New cover.
Next up is Godzilla Escape the Deadzone number 3. We haven't got number 2 yet, but number 1 was cool. With 2 mysterious children in tow, the Wanderer, who is like the main character of the book, he's broken free from the clutches of the Church of Godzilla. Unfortunately, now he finds himself deep in the heart of the Deadzone, farther than he's ever dared travel. He has hundreds of miles and all manner of freaks and monsters between him and a way out. But the strangest beings in all the Deadzone seem to be the kaiju controlling kids that he now finds in his care. And we saw a little hint of that at the end of the first issue. So we're going to get more of that here. This is our A cover, and there is a Del Pesh variant.
Well, next up we have Sonja Reborn. The number 1 came out, I think, 2 weeks ago. It was really fun. This new kind of an isekai version of this, where Maggie Sutherland was propelled into the Hyborian Age and into the body of Red Sonja. In this one, Maggie Sutherland struggles to believe where and who she has become. and is kind of convinced that she's lost her mind or something's happened, and she may take drastic measures to prove that, instead of pinch me, I'm dreaming. She might put herself in real danger. So just some more really cool covers for this. You've got your Sajik cover here, which is phenomenal. We have a Sager variant. That's a lot of hair. We have a Chad Harden cover. We have a Greg Land cover. And a cosplay cover.
This is Speed Racer number 3. When Speed Racer crosses paths with the mysterious Racer X, who I think by this point his book will be out. But when they cross paths, sparks fly on and off the streets in a high-octane showdown that pits brother against brother, even though neither of them know that yet. When the Mach 5 is stolen with Spritle and Chim Chim trapped in the trunk, Speed and Racer X must team up to take down a criminal biker gang led by the deadly Ace Ducey. And I love the name Ace Ducey, like a 1 and a 2. So yeah, some more cool Speed Racer action. This is our A cover, and we have a Sean Galloway retro manga cover.
Next up, we have Murder Podcast number 2. Number 1 comes out next week. A new book from Ignition Press, which is a new publisher, and I can't wait to check this out. Mina is an avid fan of a true crime podcast, but she never dreamed she would find herself in one, or more accurately, that she would fall victim to a frenzied killer driven to violence by the mysterious Dead Sounds podcast that is causing bodies to pile up across the Pacific Northwest. This podcast everyone is fans of. They thought it was over. Suddenly a new episode appears. They listen to it, and then suddenly they start committing crimes. So I'll know more about it on Monday once I read it, but I think it sounds really fun. This is your A cover, and there's also a Mike Tisserand variant as well. Next up, cool covers, because why not?
Yep. This is Batgirl number 12. This is the Ryan Gonzalez variant.
I love these
paper doll variants.
Variants. We also have Birds of Prey, the Kyung Eum cover, one of the coolest artists right now, doing awesome variants for Birds of Prey number 26, and a Serge Arcuna variant, another fantastic artist for Birds of Prey.
And this is JSA number 12, a really nice Jorge Corona variant featuring Jay Garrick.
We've got Poison Ivy, once again, this is Poison Ivy 37, this is the Eom cover for that one. We have a Nubovich variant, a Carbonilla variant. I love this one. Looks like you're walking in the woods, you shine the flashlight up, and that's what
that would be scary, but also kind of hot.
And there is a Nathan Zerdy Pumpkin Spicy cover. Wonder if that's a wraparound. Feels, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. This is Avengers number 31. This is the Luciano Vecchio Iron Man variant. There's a Luciano Vecchio Muppets variant.
Yeah.
All these Muppets covers are so great. There is a Vecchio Stormbreakers New Class variant and a Mahmoud Asrar Tron Ares variant.
It works with her colors and everything really well. Next up is Eddie Brock Carnage. This is the Corin Howell variant. Perfect Halloween cover for that. And a Rod Rice Marvel Zombies variant.
This is Spider-Man and Wolverine number 6, an awesome series. I believe this is the last issue. This is just the A cover from, I believe that's Kari Andrews, right? Yeah, there is a Carlos Gomez cover and a Greg Land Muppets variant, which is probably the best Muppets cover.
That was just so crazy.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Ultimate Black Panther number 21. This is the Megan Hetrick cover, and it's not a Tron one, but it very much looks like it could be a Tron.
Missed opportunity if they don't do a Ghost Rider Tron variant.
Oh my god!
Ghost Rider on a light
cycle. Make that an actual character.
Yeah.
And next up, we got Bookshelf, some cool collected editions and graphic novels to show off, starting with...
This is Batman the Demon Trilogy hardcover. This is going to be $49.99 and collects 3 original graphic novels that are all about, the Ra's al Ghul, the demon. This is kind of what sets up... this doesn't have Damian in it, but this is kind of what sets up the birth of Damian, and you get work in here from creators like Mike W. Barr, Denny O'Neil, Norm Brayfogle, who's one of my favorite Batman artists, and more. So just 3 classic Batman graphic novels collected in this.
I think before they were collected, but they were like really small.
Yeah.
Next up, we have our next DC Finest Green Lantern It's DC Finest Green Lantern, Earth's Other Green Lantern, which is a great, also just feels like a slap to Guy Gardner.
Yeah.
So this has the debut of Guy Gardner in it. Also, tales revealing the origin of Guardians of Oa, Hal's continuing battle against Star Sapphire, and the team ups with the Flash Alan Scott. So collects Green Lantern 40 through 61, Brave and the Bold 69, Detective Comics 350, and the Flash 168.
Bless you. That gave me the time I needed to write down my notes. So, bless you.
Gives you some extra time.
This is New Teen Titans, the Judas Contract Deluxe Edition hardcover. This is going to be $29.99 and collects New Teen Titans 39 and 40. And then when it flipped over to Tales of the Teen Titans 41 to 44, Tales of the Teen Titans Annual 3, and pages from World's Finest Comics number 300. And this is the grand poobah of Teen Titans stories.
Yeah.
This is the introduction of Nightwing. This is when it was revealed about Tara betraying the Teen Titans, and she actually worked with Deathstroke, and they had a weird relationship that we don't talk about. But yeah, this is like the pinnacle of Teen Titans stories collected in a brand new hardcover.
This I'm really excited about. This is Ultimate Oz Universe Volume 1, The Lost Lands. This has been, I was reading articles about this. I didn't know how big it was, but this is by Cullen Bunn and Mike Deodato. And this is essentially, I don't want to say it's like the ultimate, like Marvel's ultimate version of Oz, but it is a little bit. So this is not a retelling of Wizard of Oz, but this is explore the untold depths of Oz, an immersive fantasy universe where beloved characters return, new heroes rise, and the magic is more powerful than ever. So this is new stories in the Wizard of Oz universe, but told kind of like in a grandiose fashion. Like if you see the character designs, the Tin Man is like this like big mech type guy.
Yeah, that's cool.
The Cowardly Lion is this big like swole lion dude.
I'm sold then, I guess.
But written by Cullen Bunn, which is fantastic. This has a foreword from Elton John.
What?
Which is crazy. So this is kind of the new step in a new kind of version of the Oz universe we're getting. It's even about like a new character, in there. So it's not one of the, I think, 9 or 14 books or whatever the original Oz was. This is a new story within that Oz universe, exploring all the different corners of it. It's going to be, I believe, 144 pages with new and old characters alike, a richer and deeper look at the Oz universe than ever before. So sounds really cool, and it's just going to be $19.99. So I'm definitely going to get this because I want Deodato Jr.'s art, Cullen Bunn writing, and just like a universe that I've always thought was really cool and cool characters, but just like give it the ultimate universe treatment. Next up, some new printings. A couple of these.
This is Detective Comics number 40, the facsimile edition. This is this is the Clayface, right? I believe it's the first appearance of Clayface.
Yeah, that version of Clayface, which was a dude in a trench coat.
Right. So this is going to have a regular cover, foil cover, and a blank sketch variant.
Where you can throw mud on it.
Right.
To have your own Clayface.
Rub some dirt on it.
Next up, we have Event Horizon Dark Descent number 1. This is the second printing variant, and I loved issue number 1 of this. I can't wait for issue number 2. Perfect mix of cosmic horror and sci-fi and all of that. Even if you haven't seen the Event Horizon movie, this works as a prequel to it, so you can jump right in if you like that spooky space, no one can hear you scream type stuff. Check it out.
Mm-hmm. This is Exquisite Corpses number 2, the third printing, and we also have Exquisite Corpses number 3, the second printing. So if you missed out on these issues the first time, you can get them again.
And that was it for our ginormous comics from the future. Thank you so much for watching. Like we said, I mean, everyone came out of the gate with this one with big books that are going to be so awesome when they're released here in October. But don't miss getting your pre-orders in. There's so many of these things that you are going to kick yourself if you don't.
Yep.
When you finally get to read DCKO and you know all the craziness that's going to go into that and the lasting impacts of DCKO, this is not just a little flash in the pan. This is going to set up the future of DC for the next year, pretty much.
But it's not going to reboot stuff. It's not like not an event like that. But they did say that this will have an effect on the DC universe. There will be things coming out of this event that then persist into 2026, and they said on into 2027 as well.
Yeah, they even said they have stuff planned through 2028.
Yeah.
So I mean, this is we are in a great time for DC and
Oh my gosh,
their
yes.
big grandiose storytelling. But you also don't want to miss out on getting in on the ground floor of the X-Men Age of Revelation stuff with all of those #1s coming out, and a big one, that Ice Cream Man card set, that is going to be crazy, and that is going to go fast.
Yes.
Especially with the only one printing of it. That is, if anything's going to be a collector's item, that has all the makings of it. So don't miss out on any of this awesome stuff. Once again, infinityflux.net to get all of your pre-orders in, and grab my book while you're at it. It's only $8.99. It'll make me happy. I'll sign a copy. Maybe we'll have it up on the website for me to sign or do sketches in them or something. But thank you again for watching. Check out our show coming up on Monday. We'll be going over some of the biggest books coming out next week.
And there's a ton of books coming out next week. We say it every week, but next week is huge.
It's huge with some very exciting ones. Absolute Batman, just to name one.
Punisher #1.
Yep. So make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on our coverage of all of that. And until next time,
See ya.